channel. It's your girl Tiny, and I'm back at it with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make loaded baked potatoes. So what you're going to need is seasoned salt, garlic powder, black pepper, onion powder, ranch seasoning, which is optional, salt, parsley, and sazón seasoning. Then of course you're going to need chicken breast, broccoli, sharp cheddar, sour cream, and shrimp. Raw shrimp or cooked shrimp works fine, but I prefer to make mine raw so that I can cook it myself. Yeah. So after you get all those ingredients out the way, the first thing that you want to do before you do anything else is wash your hands, because it don't matter if you're cooking for you, it don't matter if you're cooking for a family, your family, friends, whatever. You don't want to be touching on food with dirty hands. That's just not gonna fly. Like, it's just not. So you want to go ahead and wash your hands. So after you're done washing your hands, what you want to do is take your chicken breasts, lay them out on the cutting board, and cut them into pieces. Technically you could season them and then cut them into pieces, but I find that it's easier when you cut them up and then season them, because if you're sitting there holding on to a seasoned chicken breast trying to cut it, a lot of the seasoning is going to rub off onto your hands. So I normally cut mine up first. After you're done cutting up your chicken breast, the easiest route to go is to put it into a bowl and to season it while it's in the bowl. Yeah, this does require, using more dishes, but it'll make it easier and it'll make it more efficient when trying to season all the chicken, because you don't want like half your chicken not to be seasoned or for the seasoning to only sit on the top. And then it also makes it to where you don't have to actually touch the chicken and work the seasoning into it if you don't want to. So you can just go ahead and toss it around in the bowl after you're done seasoning. Next, get a large non-stick skillet and place it on the aisle on medium to high heat. I normally turn mine on high when I first start cooking it, and then eventually I turn it down. So what I do is I add butter, and then I move it around in the pan a little bit to make sure like the surface of the pan is like mostly butter, and then I just let that sit and let the butter melt the rest of the way on its own. Next, you want to pour the chicken into the pan and spread it out so that it's evenly distributed amongst the pan, and that it's not all bunched up in one place, because when the chicken starts cooking it will stick together. So you want to like spread it out as well as you can, which is why I advise using a large non-stick skillet so that you got room to spread it all out. Okay, y'all, so don't be mad, but I forgot to record me actually cooking the potatoes prior to me putting them in the microwave. There's two ways to cook potatoes. One way is in the oven, the other way is in the microwave, which is quicker. The microwave takes about anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, and the oven takes like 30 to an hour. So what I did is I washed the potatoes off first, and then I took a knife or a fork. I used a fork because it's less sharp, and I stabbed holes in the potatoes. Then I buttered them up. You can also add oil. Just make sure you get it all over the potatoes, and then you put them in a loosely tied bag and you pop them in the microwave for about 20 minutes. The timing kind of depends on the size of the potatoes and how many potatoes you use. I use large russet potatoes, and I believe I did 4. And yeah, just spreading around the chicken, making sure it all has a chance to cook on each side. I unthaw my shrimp in a bowl of warm water. If you plan on freezing your shrimp, do not do it in warm water. Unthaw them in cold water. But I'm not. I was using them all, so I put mine in warm water. I'm going through and I'm taking the tails off, and then later on I'm gonna rinse them off and then devein them and rinse them again. Here the chicken is just about done. I like my chicken to be browned when I'm making anything with chicken, especially like a baked potato or quesadillas. So when your chicken starts to get like a brown looking char on it, that's when you know that it's done. So take it off the skillet and set it to the side so that it's no longer on the heat. After all that's said and done, you want to go ahead and devein the shrimp. Most shrimp is already labeled as deveined because most of the main intestinal vein has been removed already. But a lot of the shrimp tends to still have part of the intestinal vein at the bottom. So I'm going through and taking it out, and then they also have a vein on the underbelly, and I just don't like veins in my shrimp. So I'm just taking a knife and removing any veins that I see. A little extra, so the first, for the last clip that you seen of my cooking, it wasn't exactly, brown to my liking. So I left it on there for a little bit longer, and this is what it looks like. So now I'm just taking my baked potatoes out of the bag. Yes, I use a grocery bag because reduce, reuse, and recycle. Why not? What else am I gonna use? So the way you tell if your potato is done is you take a fork and you gently poke it into the potato, and if it sinks in immediately, or a knife, that's when you know that it's done. So if it goes in with ease and you don't feel like any resistance, that's how you know that they're done. So then you want to place them on a plate, and yeah, you might want to be a little careful because they're very hot, and I was burning the mess out of myself trying to grab these potatoes, and I don't know why I always do this. So I'll recommend, I don't know what I would recommend because the potatoes are kind of soft to be trying to pick them up. I don't know, maybe get some tongs or something, because as you can see, I was burning the shit out of my hands. So yeah, you don't want to do that. Next, you want to take your knife and split the potato down the middle. What I do normally is I just stab a couple holes in it with my fork, and then I push both ends towards each other, and then they just burst open. But sometimes that doesn't work, so I just cut it down the middle. I don't know why I try to do it all pretty anyway, because I don't keep my potato whole. I press it outwards and flatten it down so that all the potato can be able to get the toppings on it. So that's what I'm doing right now. After I do that, I add salt, pepper, and butter. And before I do that, I make sure the potato is completely flattened to my liking. And this is also how you tell if the whole potato is cooked or not, because if it's not pressing down all the way, then it's probably not done. And you don't want undercooked potato because they tend to be very crunchy and nasty no matter how much toppings you put on it. So yeah, so after you got it flattened to your liking, you want to take your salt, your pepper, and your butter and put it on there. If it's hot enough, which it should be because it came out of the microwave, the butter should melt on its own, so you should not have to pop it back into the microwave after that. Normally, I season my shrimp before I put it on the pan, but I didn't. So you want to put your pan on medium to high heat, throw your shrimp in and season it. I believe I seasoned my shrimp with sazón, garlic powder, onion powder, garlic parmesan, and That's it. I might use a pinch of ranch seasoning. I'm not sure. But I did. Oh, damn. That's not a pinch. Anywho, the ranch seasoning doesn't taste overwhelming. So even if you accidentally add too much, it's hard to add too much. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah. So then you want to take your broccoli. You can either make it on the stove top or microwave it. I made mine in the microwave by following the instructions on the bag. I added butter, salt, and pepper, and then sometimes I add garlic powder to give it a little extra oomph because I don't know, I'm just extra like that. But yeah, you want to make sure your broccoli is hot, none of it is cold, and then I just set some butter on it, and then I let it melt. Or you're gonna get sick. So right now you see me taking my broccoli. Now that the butter is melted, I'm taking the broccoli and the chicken, and then I'm gonna and the shrimp. One potato has chicken and shrimp. One is gonna have just plain chicken because my boyfriend does not eat shrimp. So what I'm basically doing essentially is I'm taking the toppings and I'm putting them on there, and then I'm gonna sprinkle cheese over all of that. Sometimes I sprinkle a little cheese on first and then the toppings and then more cheese because the cheese tends to not get on the bottom of the potato. But normally I add enough cheese to where that's not an issue. So yeah, as you can see, I'm still adding broccoli because I don't know, I like a lot of broccoli on my stuff, and I microwave all that broccoli for nothing. So, yeah. As I said before, after you're done adding all the meat and vegetables, you want to go ahead and sprinkle your cheese on top. In my opinion, no amount of cheese is ever too much when it comes to baked potatoes, especially because when you are eating it, a lot of times you accidentally eat the cheese off. I don't know how, but it seems like it always works out like that. So I tend to put a lot of cheese on these. I've never heard of anyone telling me that my baked potatoes are too cheesy, because I mean, it's a baked potato. So yeah, so just add however much cheese you want on top. You don't even really have to add cheese on top if you don't want to, or if you're lactose intolerant, you could add a substitute or don't add cheese at all. But I like cheese on my baked potato, so you're gonna see me add cheese. So next, I'm gonna pop this into the microwave so that the cheese can melt, because it ain't right if the cheese ain't melted. So this is the final result. This is what it looks like after everything is melted. It's ready to eat. Then you want to add the sour cream, and then you're ready to go. This is the final result. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.